That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What are you talking about?
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. This is episode 139. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. Turn-Based Carl is back with us. So, Carl, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice.
I wanted to say I was recharged by that vacation I went on, but it wasn't all that recharging. It was pretty stressful.
Well, usually they are, especially, when you're in charge of everything and you're driving and, all that stuff. So,
it would have been fine if the 2.5-year-old wanted to cooperate. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's not their MO.
Right. Exactly.
NyQuil. It'll solve everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, Burley, how you doing, man? Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. It's actually cooled down here a little. I'm not running my
Nice.
air as much, which is nice. I'm getting the fresh air into the apartment instead of having to use air conditioners and fans.
Cool. Yeah, today my daughter was like skimming through different universities, and she's going to be going to open campuses during the summer vacation. So we've started summer vacation now, finally, out here in Japan. So all the schools are out. So everybody's on summer vacation now, finally. So it's like for you guys out there, it's like you're already midway through. But so we're starting, and she's going to be going off to some campuses in a couple of weeks and taking a look because she'll be starting university next year. So, but we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking a lot of Microsoft, obviously the Activision Blizzard deal. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Xbox Game Pass Core. So it's kind of a new version of Games with Gold. Games with Gold is going bye-bye. We're going to talk about all of that. Sony agreeing to the 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. We're going to talk about that as well as all of the other news from the Activision Blizzard deal that's been going on this past week in the topic of the show. And then, of course, our picks of the week for July 24th through the 30th. So we're going to get into that. But before we do all of that, before we talk about the games that we've been playing this past week, here's a brief word for all of you video and audio viewers about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast's ad-free version in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get every episode including exclusive ad-free post-show content in video format when recorded, please visit patreon.com/thearenaproductions for further details. The audio version of the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in the video version, it will be on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Productions, where you can join and chat with the Arena Productions community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at The Arena Productions. Now, back to the show.
Okay, guys. So as we usually do, we're going to talk about some of the games that we've been playing this past week. So I will go ahead and start. And I went back to Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Now, there's one thing. Oh, that is not Jedi Survivor. Those are the picks of the week. I don't know why that came
also
up.
In space. It's the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So let me try to get back to what I'm trying to get here. There we go. Okay. So get back. There we go. So sorry about that technical glitch, everybody. So anyway, Jedi Survivor. The one thing I just want to say about it, I'm really enjoying it, but this is just me because I'm an older gamer, and maybe this is something that a lot of you probably won't agree with, but I would just love if developers gave gamers such as myself the option in the game. I mean, you have to explore many different planets, obviously, and you have to go through these planets' terrain, and it takes maybe a couple of hours to get to the terrain to achieve your goal of, like, for example, meeting a particular character within the game. Now, I would love it if I want to just experience the story and I don't want to have to spend hours on end going through terrain to get to that particular objective, to give me the opportunity to have fast travel to get to that particular point, because all I want to do is experience the story parts of this game. That's probably never going to happen. I mean, there's probably a small minority of people like myself that want that, and that's probably why developers do not give that particular option. So I'm just thinking that I wish that they would apply that in some way. I'm still, like I said, I'm enjoying the game, I'm having fun with it, but there's times when you meet one character, it takes 2 hours to get through the terrain and to solve the puzzles and to get to that particular character and then experience the cutscenes. And then once those are finished, then you have to spend another 2 or 3 hours to go from one planet to the next and then go through all of that entire terrain and all of the puzzles to get to the other character. So,
but isn't that the gameplay?
Yeah, I know.
You're not enjoying that? What happened?
I'm enjoying it to a certain extent, but then there's some times when I just don't have the time to do it. As you know, of course, I'm making lots of content here on the Arena Productions, and I just want to experience the story parts of the game. Not with all games, but I mean with some games. But I think developers should give that option. Even though a lot of probably 95% of gamers would never use that option, but at least it would be there for somebody like me that it's like, okay, I don't want to go through all this terrain. I just want to get to, the point where I meet that particular character and I see the cutscenes, I see the story. So, yeah.
I mean, I have the solution for you.
I know you do, Carl. Yes.
Yes.
What is the solution?
It's called YouTube, and it's free.
I know, but it's like I'm sitting there with the controller in my hand, and I want to experience it on the 4K screen that I have in front of me. So,
and you don't want to pull out a laptop, a phone. No, I get it. And in the case, because I've actually played Jedi Survivor, is there are times, because this happened to me on stream, you think you're going the story path, but you can easily side branch and go down spend an hour or two. And you went down a side path that you can't fully explore, and then you're reading. The map is better in Jedi in this one than the first one, but the map still could be much better.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the newer skill trees, of course, with the lightsaber. The dual lightsaber and all of that, and the double wielding, powers and all. The different stances. I mean, those are fun, but there's times when I'm running through all of that terrain, I get lost. And it's like, and how do I solve this puzzle? And like you're saying, Carl, I did have to go to YouTube once to figure out a couple of these puzzles. Mm-hmm. So that takes time, but I mean, just give players that option, even though, like I said, probably 95% of gamers will never use it. But at least give them the option if they want to just experience the cutscenes and the story of the game. And I think one reason why they probably don't do that is because they're worried about spoilers being thrown out there on the internet. Because if gamers only had that, or gamers had that option to go through and just go through all of the cutscenes, then you'd probably get so many different spoilers like a day after the game comes out, because somebody's going to complete it in like 2 hours, and then they're going to throw it up online and then spoil it for everybody else.
Yeah. I like waypoints a lot, like a strong pathing that like when I'm really frustrated and I just want to move on. There are times some games are like it's pretty clear and it shows you where to go. Other games like it's somewhere over there, figure it out. I'm like, no, but can you just tell me, please? Like I just don't want to. I want to just go on the main path.
Yeah,
like let me have the options of turning on that like breadcrumb trail that tells me exactly where to go at sometimes, because sometimes I want to cut through all the nonsense and just go.
Yeah. Okay, Burley, let's go ahead and move on. So you were playing Pikmin 4, so let's go ahead and talk about that. What's your experience with that so far?
Well, Pikmin 1. I had been 1. I played that because I bought.
Okay.
I bought the digital copy of that because they gave that.
Okay, well, I'm still going to run the trailer for Pikmin 4.
Well,
so all of you
I actually do have the copy.
It's
my copy
the same
came
game,
in.
Right? I assume.
I got the posters. Well, I played the demo for Pikmin 4, and that's what my introduction of playing the series. And the demo for 4 is really, really good. Going to play Pikmin 1, I had fun with the game, but boy, the AI in 1 is rough. Those Pikmin, they just want to die. It's like if you've watched Toy Story 4 and you know the character Forky, how he tries to kill himself every 20 minutes in the first bit of the film. That's what the Pikmin's AI. You got the Pikmin that can't swim. They're like, ooh, water. Let's go drown. And you're like, no, why you do this? Why you do this?
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. It is a relaxing style of game. And the demo of 4, like they do a lot of stuff compared to Pikmin 1 to make things more just ease of getting into and just more fun to sit and play. And I'm not worried about having to rush through the level. Like in Pikmin 1, I would restart my days all the time. It was giving me the like Majora's Mask vibe of shit. I got only so much time to do stuff. I got to make use of every second efficiently. But I'm still happy to want to play the other games of the series. I do have 2 digitally because they give you the bundle 1 and 2 on the eShop. So I will play 2 eventually and be streaming 4 next week.
Nice.
Is it like Lemmings?
A little, because you only have so many. You can make and get new Pikmin as you go in the levels and because your total is 100 that you can have out at once, but you can put them away and choose the colors you want and all that. But you like
there levels like you have to that are like a challenge. You have to figure out how to finish.
Yeah. So the whole thing is you're trying to get parts, and you have a timer up there before the night, and you got to get 30. If you get all 30 parts, you get the good ending. If you get so many of the right parts, the game doesn't really tell you well enough. The first game, you'll get the bad. You can either get the bad or good ending. But it's all about trying to, you have these different levels, and some will have like 2 parts, some will have 4 parts, some will have 6 parts. And it's all about figuring out, okay, how do I use my time efficiently to get as many parts as I can in a day? Because you only have 30 days, so you cannot waste your days much. The nice thing though is when you go back into your the save menu, on the load screen, you can do the minus button on the controller and go back days. So if you feel like, okay, day 15, I really screwed up, I want to start back from there. Go back from there and go.
Yeah,
you can.
I'm dating myself with the Lemmings reference, but that expat knows. He gets it.
I get it too. I've played Lemmings. I actually had to play it for a college course because with my first programming fundamentals course to teach you.
I was
program with Game Maker.
I was just gonna say, speaking of games that I was kind of surprised that Turn-Based Carl has been playing this week, especially when it's a first-person shooter. So so Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. What made you think of playing this one, Carl? So
well, at the moment I'm kind of in that like holding pattern for Starfield, right? Like
Yeah.
There's nothing I really care to play until then. That's what I want. So like, I'll play whatever I feel, whatever I find. And I was talking to some people on Discord, and this game comes up a lot as being, this franchise, right, as being something really good that is now first party Xbox, and I have it on Game Pass. So I was like, all right, you know what? I told them, like, I'll play the first one. All right, I'll check it out. And I start playing that, and I'm like, yeah, this game's great. I love it. It goes so much harder than you expect.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know really what I was getting into so much as like, all right, I know what Wolfenstein is from the original, and I know it's a shooter and it's Nazis and blah blah blah, some weird stuff in there. But man, this game, like, there's like weird technology. Like the Nazis have like these advanced technology. They have like robot dog things. They have like genetically modified machine men. There's this like secret ancient Jewish group that has like advanced technology they developed like long ago that's hidden in the underground and other bases. Now in the second game there's another one, and I'm like, man, that is cool. That is,
and it's like
creative.
The Nazis had taken over, they had won the war, and they'd taken over parts of the United States and all.
And it does things in the story you don't expect at all.
There's
a huge time jump fairly early in the first game, and you're like, oh wow, this is interesting. It's incredibly violent. It's disturbing, but in a way that you're like, wow. Like,
well, it's Machine Games. I mean, Machine Games. That's their motto. Is just being gory and fast paced.
And it tells a good story. There's good characters. The writing is good. There's good development for those characters. Like, I was like, in my head before playing this game, I'm like, BJ Blazkowicz is just a Doom guy, right? He's just a shooter. First person guy who doesn't matter.
Just take the suit off and it's him.
But I played this game like, oh no, he's a character. He has, there's interesting stuff going on with him. Like, there's a lot of good moments with him. There's other characters in this game. There's a couple choices you get to make, and the weapons are interesting. And now I'm into the second game, and it's more of that. It starts off goes really hard, and then I feel like the second game kind of gets into this sort of lull, and then you go back and you get more story. And I think the pacing isn't as good in the second game, but gameplay is improved. Of course, visuals are definitely improved as well.
Are you going to try the one with the daughters?
I might, just because I have a curiosity of like what makes it so bad versus this, and also like I like BJ Blazkowicz, and I like the woman who has his children and who's a character in the game, and I want to see what his children are like.
I think her name was Anya. I think if I remember correctly, Anya. Yeah,
that's her name.
Yeah.
I might try that. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, now I realize like this is a really good franchise, and they should make the third game.
One's coming. They're gonna make,
especially from what I heard, because the second game takes place immediately after the end of the first game.
Right.
And from what I heard, the second game, it doesn't really have any sort of time jumps. It's just like continuing along in that story, and we'll get to a point where it's not over yet. So there should be a third game.
Yeah, and there's the DLC also too. So you should try that.
The first game had some DLC too. I'm not sure about the second.
Yeah, the first game I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I skipped that. That was the old blood or something maybe.
Yeah, I think it was the old blood or something like that. Yeah, but
so good stuff, man. I'm enjoying a shooter for once, and it's that old school sort of like, pick up a lot of crap. There's a lot of power ups and weapons and ammo everywhere, and it's just a fun sort of simple shooter. But the mechanics are good. They have the leaning mechanic. The weapons are interesting. The level design, I think, it was a little better in the first, but sort of carries over mostly in the second, where it feels like it's sort of wide enough where you can come at it in multiple ways. It doesn't feel like I am stuck running into the same exact pattern every time if I die.
It'll be interesting to see in the next iteration of Wolfenstein if they give you the option to switch between first and third person. Because I'd love to play it in third person. Yeah.
I kind of doubt it, but it does feel somewhat like a cover shooter at times with the way the lean mechanic works.
Yeah. All right, so it's time to get to the weekly news beat, and the first story we're going to talk about. So we've talked for a long time about they should just do away with Xbox games with gold. We've talked about the games like each month that came out for it that were just like maybe like 2 or 3 year old indie titles or something like that they would throw in there once in a great while. But now we're getting a new type of Game Pass. So basically, Xbox Live Gold members will automatically jump to this new Game Pass Core. So I'm going to read a little bit of this for you. So this is from Xbox.com. So on September 14th, Xbox Live Gold members will automatically become Game Pass Core members with no change in pricing and have immediate access to a new library of over 25 high-quality games. Member deals and discounts will also be a part of Xbox Game Core, so players can continue to access any Xbox One games they previously redeemed through Games with Gold if they remain a Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate member. Regardless of subscription status, any Xbox 360 titles redeemed via Games with Gold in the past will be kept in a player's library. And so I'm going to show you, I have another image here that I'm going to bring up, and these are the tiers for Game Pass now. So the core, of course, you can see here, online console multiplayer. So a catalog of over 25 high quality games on console, and member deals and discounts. And it will be $9.99 a month. So console Game Pass will be $10.99 a month. PC Game Pass, $9.99 a month. But now, Carl, I have a question for you, and I don't think this was explained for the PC Game Pass side of things. Basically, is the PC Game Pass going to allow online multiplayer?
Well, on PC, you don't need to pay for online multiplayer.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, that would be excluded anyway, right? So yeah. So
it just doesn't matter. Which
just doesn't matter. Okay, yeah.
It is that weird situation that we all kind of thought was going to go away one day for console,
right?
But clearly not. You know, both Sony and Microsoft are continuing to have this pay for online multiplayer, and only for paid games. By the way, if you have a free to play online game, you can play that without the service.
Right. And then Ultimate, of course, we heard a little bit earlier that the prices were going up, so it's going to be $17 a month, $16.99. So, yeah. So, what do you guys think of this new Game Pass Core? I mean, I think it's fair enough. I think Game Pass Gold members are going to really enjoy this new part of the service that they're going to be getting. And I think it's an upgrade to the games that they were getting previously, obviously, So, yeah, I mean, I think this is a win-win, for Xbox Live Gold members. Burley, I'll start with you. What do you think of it all?
Like it's about time they finally do this. Yeah, they're giving you titles, some really good ones, and then some not so. Funny enough, they're not giving you Halo Infinite because they just know.
They give Halo 5 instead.
Yeah, they give Halo 5 and Halo Wars 2. Psychonauts 2 being like probably the biggest and newest release that you're getting on there. I think this is more to just get people into going to Game Pass console. Because the small sampling you're getting here, it's like, well, if I'm doing that and console's $1 more a month, I might as well just buy console.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and read real quick. These are the titles that are confirmed for launch: Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2, The Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited.
You messed up one of the game names. It's actually State of Decay 2.
Okay, bro. Yeah. So, thank you for that
My
clarification.
Game. Thank you.
Yes.
No, I
Yeah. Yeah. And it says new titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year. So yeah.
So that's interesting. This isn't the full list of right. It's not 25, and they did say it'll change. They said new titles added 2 to 3 times a year. I don't know if that's gonna stay 100% steady. Who knows how often they cycle things.
Yeah.
But it's a good start of a library. I kind of feel like you mentioned Halo Infinite not being on there, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the quality so much as like they're just, it's very specific curated list, right? And Halo 5 Guardians is more of I say like a complete experience of a game than like Halo Infinite's this weird like, okay, you have the story thing and then you have the free to play multiplayer and that's a service thing, and I don't know, there's just something weird about it. They could have done it. Who knows? Maybe they will. But you see the other they want to put service stuff in there, so it sort of makes sense. But maybe those are like Fallout 76 and your Elder Scrolls Online, and even State of Decay 2, which has continuing content. But then you have Forza Horizon 4, which is not the current one, and that's probably, I don't think that's getting updated. But yeah, they're definitely trying to give you a little bit of like what Xbox is about.
Yeah.
Without necessarily giving you the newest of everything.
Yeah. But I think it's well beyond the time for this to change, and I'm glad they're finally doing it.
Yeah, it's a good change.
Yeah.
The one of the biggest things that's important to mention also is that it's still $60 a year. So if you buy the yearly rate, you get that discounted rate. And that was something that, if you remember a while back when they said, "Oh, we're raising the price of Xbox Live by $1," and everyone was like, "No, you're getting rid of the 6-month or 12-month like discounted rate." And that's what everybody got really mad about, because then it was going to be a lot more expensive, right? It wasn't amount the monthly price. So they learned from that, and they said, "All right, that's still $60 a month." And that library is good, and the fact that they'll change it and add other good things in there is good. Is it what we thought, right? Where they were just going to get rid of online completely? No.
Yeah.
Clearly, enough people are paying for that on both major platforms that do it, and there's too much money there, so they just won't stop.
Yeah.
But you can't simply just upgrade to console, by the way, like, because then you lose the online. So it is a little kind of strange. You think, it's $1 more to get the console one, but like, no, it's not how it works, because you need the online. So you kind of just have to go to Ultimate at that point.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that it doesn't give the SE.
You could buy the yearly core at $60 and then pay monthly for the console as well to get the extra games, but
if you're gonna do that, you might as well buy Ultimate. I still like, where's the family plan and all that they've promised? That's the stuff
maybe soon.
I'm hoping soon, because with that they've also said, they were saying like doing the yearly, you can buy the Game Pass up front for a year, because that is something.
Yeah.
That's something I'm wanting. Like Nintendo is doing it yearly. Sony allows you to do it yearly. Come on, Microsoft. Let's do it yearly.
Yeah. So there was news on the family plan that, because the preview that was out there just
right, that's ending, I think.
That's ending in August. So
yeah,
the thought is that will then lead into the full actual rollout of the plan.
Yeah.
We'll see. It makes this is good. This puts it all in the same place. It gets rid of that stigma of like Xbox Live Gold having these bad games that nobody wants to play, and
right,
throwing in there.
Right.
The thing I don't like is that we're gonna get that thing that was going on with PS Plus, where they're like, "Oh, we have 60 million subscribers for our service." I'm like, "Yeah, but what do you have for your multi-game subscription service versus your online subscription one, your cheap one, right? Like, I feel
How
like
many
we're
are
not
on
going to.
essentials? How many are on extra? How many are on premium?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably not going to get that breakdown anymore from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I like to know that, like, there's a lot of people who were part of this Game Pass group who all have access to this game. Everyone, everyone, I like, oh, you have Game Pass, so you have this game, right? Go play it. Like, I know I like this game. Go play this game that you have access to. But it's not going to be as easy to say when they're like, oh no, I only have Core. I only have these games.
Right. All right. Well, let's get into the nitty gritty of the Activision Blizzard stuff with Microsoft and and the FTC and with Sony and all. So the first thing I want to bring up is this new agreement that Sony has now made with Microsoft, and it's really interesting because it only includes Call of Duty. And I just wonder if that's kind of retribution for like Jim Ryan running around the world and trying to get, for PlayStation, trying to get this deal, axed so that it wouldn't go through. But anyway, obviously Sony's going to get Call of Duty, but they're not getting anything else really from Activision or Blizzard. Just Call of Duty, and it's 10 years, and it's going to be the same Call of Duty that's going to be on, Xbox. So Microsoft is not going to tweak it in any way, shape, or form. They're going to get the same version, but it's a 10-year deal. So, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna read a little bit from The Verge here. Let me go ahead and give all of you video viewers. The link is below there. So, yeah, Sony has agreed to a 10-year deal for Call of Duty with Microsoft to keep the franchise on PlayStation after the proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition, which obviously we're going to talk about a little bit. Looks like they've extended the deadline until October, but a lot of people are thinking it's probably going to be done by the end of August. We will see. But anyway, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer says Sony and Microsoft have agreed to a, quote, binding agreement, end quote, to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. And this is Phil Spencer's tweet. He says, we are pleased to announce that Microsoft and PlayStation have signed a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games. And Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, said in his tweet, from day one of this acquisition, we've been committed to addressing the concerns of regulators, platform and game developers, and consumers. Even after we cross the finish line for this deal's approval, we will remain focused on ensuring that Call of Duty remains available. And it goes on. So, yes, on all platform or more platforms, I should say, and for more consumers than ever before. So that's from his tweet. So, yeah, kind of a bad deal for Sony, though, in my opinion. I mean, all they get is Call of Duty. They don't get anything else out of this. So who's to say, Microsoft might just make a lot of these games exclusive now, just not Call of Duty, Whereas if a lot of this didn't transpire and Sony would have played nice in the beginning, there could have been a deal where a lot of these other games would have also been in that agreement as well. So, Carl, I will start with you on this. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, that's what happens when you do these things. You really you tried to kill their deal, and they're not going to be happy about that. And the court documents and stuff revealed that the original offer was 5 years for Call of Duty and Activision games.
Mm-hmm.
And now, after all of this, they get 10 years of Call of Duty and nothing else. Which, by the way, had already been publicly offered to them and had already been offered to other people, and the other people had accepted. So, like, they didn't really get anything extra. Like, they just got, here's the basic deal. You gonna sign it? Okay. we don't really know if there's anything more to it, because I kind of feel that there, Sony might not want to be the marketing partner anymore for Call of Duty. It doesn't make a lot of sense for them to be marketing the next Call of Duty this year, right? Let's say the deal closes possibly in August, right?
Yeah.
Activision Call of Duty is now a Microsoft-owned thing. I mean, is Sony going to be the marketing partner for PlayStation marketing that game? That seems odd for this year. Yeah. So there could be agreements in there, because there's other things about it. If you remember, there was a lot of stuff that came out from the court stuff, and there was the thing about how Microsoft had to take a different cut of Call of Duty sales. Like they had to do, I don't know if it was like 20 or 25% instead of the normal 30% cut.
Yeah.
And supposedly that PlayStation also had that same rate. Mm-hmm. But the reason that they agreed to it is because that was part of getting the marketing deal.
Yeah.
So that maybe will now, they could say, all right, you get rid of the marketing, we'll give you the regular rate now, so you can get the 30% again instead of whatever was lower. Mm-hmm. But now you're not going to be part of the marketing. It could be something else that we don't know about in that deal that could be interesting. But it's, again, not hugely beneficial. I mean, it maybe means more money for Sony on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But they lost out on everything else. And that's not to say that nothing will be exclusive. Nothing will be coming to PlayStation from Activision, because they might still put Spyro and Crash on there. We don't know.
Yeah. On Twitter, everybody's freaking out. A lot of the PlayStation fans out there are freaking out that, Spyro and Crash and everything, it's lost forever now. They're not going to get it. But and some people were saying, well, you should just buy the console that it's going to be on then. I mean,
that's the thing. If you're a huge fan of a franchise, then buy and the franchise goes somewhere else. You got to buy the thing it's on. I mean, look at Final Fantasy, right? It was on Xbox, right? 13 and 15 launched on Xbox day one.
Yeah.
And 16 didn't.
I feel for gamers out there that they want to play the game, and they bought a console of their particular choice, and they don't have the money to buy another console. So sometimes they're going to vent and they're going to rant online.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's possible. But there are cheap options on the Xbox side to get in.
Yeah,
and let's not forget, this is like a luxury hobby, right?
Yes,
it's going to cost you money to do it. So you can't act like, oh, I won't spend any money. Like, you're probably spending hundreds of extra money on crap and gaming that you don't need. So maybe spend it. Stop getting your collector's editions then.
Never.
Stop getting steel boxes, Burley.
Right.
You can't stop me.
It's
not a problem. You're the problem.
Yeah.
What I do like is it sucks if you don't like Xbox, whatever, but now there's a consistency, right? If Spyro's your thing or Crash is your thing, they will always be on Xbox. There's no doubt, right?
I think you should just, when you're considering getting into gaming and considering buying a console, you need to be business savvy, because this is how the world of gaming business works. So there are going to be games that are going to be exclusive to one particular console. There are games that are going to be multi-platform. So you're just going to have to spend accordingly and just go with the flow. I mean, if you're into only Crash games or Spyro games, then you might want, and you don't have a console yet, you might want to probably, spend the money on getting an Xbox. If you're into Spider-Man and only Spider-Man and Marvel games, you probably want to invest in a PlayStation. But it's just, you have to be business savvy and understand the market and where these games have previously released, and just do your research.
What I hate more than anything is the inconsistency, and this actually brings consistency. You may not like where the consistency is,
Right.
But at least I know, like, Street Fighter 5 was only on PlayStation for some reason, but it was on Xbox before that, and now it's back to Xbox. Final Fantasy is the same thing, skipped here or there. There's other games.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's other games where, like, I don't always know where, Silent Hill, the Silent Hill 2 remake's going to be exclusive to PlayStation. We assume timed, but Silent Hill was also on Xbox, not the first one, but the later ones.
Right.
It's like, I hate not knowing, like, I used to think, I could buy that console and those games would be there, but now I can't be certain.
Yeah, well, there are some games that are enigmas. There are some games that are enigmas when it comes to purchases. Like, for example, what is it? I'm trying to think of it's on the Switch. I'm trying to remember.
There were for Kingdom Hearts, for example.
Kingdom Hearts. I'm thinking of that.
I know. Well, I know you're.
Octopath Traveler, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Octopath started on the Switch, then came to Xbox, PC.
Right.
And then Octopath 2 came. Everything but Xbox. But I was going to say, for Kingdom Hearts, you had the first game came out on the PS2. The sequel, the 1.5 Chain of Memories, came to GBA, and then 2 came to PS2. Like, they went like crazy. My thing is, I don't worry, don't get upset right now. We don't know nothing. They're still. Crash just had a game. If they've got another Spyro game, wait and see. That's what you have to play and do. Don't get emotional right now. Wait and see. You never know. They could still be putting these on multi-platform because they could look at the sales number from the last couple and be like, okay, the Reignited trilogy for Spyro, it sold 5 million on PlayStation, 2.5 on Xbox. Okay, do we want to give up those 5 million player install base?
Yeah.
No, we're a business. We paid billions of dollars to get this. They're saying some stuff. I say wait. And like Carl said, if they do become Xbox only, there you do have the cheaper Xbox options with like the Series S. You also have PC. You wait and see. They may come to PC Game Pass, so you just buy PC Game Pass for a month or two and play the games that way. And
so Burley, okay. Before we move on, though, I just want to get your comments on the 10-year agreement for Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah. It is what it is. Sony, you got it for the next 10 years. You're signed there. You no longer have the exclusivity and stuff like that. Like I said, you can go back episodes and episodes ago. I've said you're putting way too much faith into Call of Duty. You're hurting yourselves by doing this. Mm-hmm. If I was them, I would have been going to EA and going to Battlefield and being like, okay, we need you guys to step it up. If you can step up and make a good Battlefield, we can give you some money, make a deal, and get that branding thing. They put way too much into Call of Duty, and it's just now it's bitten them in the ass.
Yeah.
So they only have themselves to blame on this. And if they wanted Call of Duty harder, they should have when the rumblings of this deal were starting, to go back to Activision, get them to sign a longer deal. Mm-hmm. If you want it badly enough, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and move on to our topic of the show. Obviously, we've been talking about the deal already a little bit, but let's get into the juice of what's happened recently. And I don't know, can you see the Activision Blizzard image there, guys? Can you see it? I can't.
I can see it on the stream, but not in Restream.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. I'll just leave it then. Restream has been having some issues for us, so bear with us, all of you viewers out there. So, yeah, I want to start with first the FTC case. First of all, the FTC didn't have much of a case to begin with. All it was just leaning on Sony and saying it was going to harm consumers and all. And of course, the case was dismissed. And of course, Microsoft is now basically they were able to close the deal in the United States, but they still had the CMA. And now they're just, I think it's this week, Carl, that Microsoft is going to submit their new proposal to the CMA, which is going to be,
I think they said they already have it. Yeah. But...
Okay, so yeah, maybe they did it in the past day or so, because the CMA, I think the last time I checked the news, they were still waiting for Microsoft to submit that new report. But so it's all on the CMA now to finalize everything, to get everything, cleared through them, especially when it comes to the cloud gaming and all. So Microsoft has extended, of course, the acquisition closing time. And of course, Activision and Blizzard are all on board with this. Even Bobby Kotick is on board with this. And I heard that he's supposedly under contract until next April, I think, to continue running Activision. But
yeah, he also said I'll stay as long or as short as they want me to.
Right. So who knows, man? Yeah. So.
Well, he wants us to go through because like a $400 million payout to him. Yeah. So who wouldn't want a deal to come through if you're getting a couple $100 million going?
Yeah, the dude definitely has massive amounts of stock in the company. Plus, he's going to get his golden parachute for when he leaves. So yeah.
So, yeah, let me try to. I'm going to try to get this again. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So they extended the deadline to, I believe it was October
30th. I think it is. I don't
remember the date exactly.
It's somewhere in October. But anyway, so the FTC. I want to go back to that a little bit because then they appealed, and I'm like, when I heard about that, I was just like, man, you are just wasting all of the damn taxpayers' money on doing this. Because you're not going to win. And obviously the judge denied this appeal. I can understand the FTC in this case and a lot of previous cases, they just haven't had a leg to stand on, unfortunately. When it comes to regulation, a real regulation. But in this case, they didn't have a case at all, really. So, for Microsoft fans, obviously they were jumping for joy. The deal's gonna go through now. So what I'd like to talk to you guys about now, once the deal is finalized, whether it's in October or it's in late August or whenever it happens. So what are the ramifications for the industry now? There's been the talk of Sony going and buying Square Enix and buying Capcom and buying every Japanese publisher they can possibly get their hands on to make sure that Xbox doesn't get their hands on them. Which would be pretty childish, but that's business. That's how business is. So who knows? We shall see. But Xbox. Could they? What is next for them? Are they going to try to acquire another publisher very soon, or are they going to wait for a while because of all of the mess that they've had to go through with all the regulators around the world and dealing with this? So what are the ramifications of this for the industry once this is complete? So, Burley, I'll start with you first on this. What do you think?
I think they're going to wait it out. Personally, I think Microsoft's going to wait it out after a bit because they spent a lot of money doing this deal, a lot of resources, and I'm sure they want to rest up because going straight into another, because they know whoever they go for, whether it be small, medium, or large, competition's going to fight back. Do you want to, after you may have won the fight, do you want to really go into another battle? Or do you want to just take a breather, relax, kind of be like, okay, now we got this. Because even though they get Activision Blizzard, they got a lot of work to do with them. They got a clean house there. There's a lot of people that need to go.
Yep.
So I think probably want to focus their attention there. Sony is going to retaliate. Whether they actually buy studios or not, we'll see. I think they're going to do more deals. I'm sure they've tried to put in money to buy Square, but
there is a rumor out there going around right now that PlayStation and Sony have been in private conversations with Valve to buy Valve and Steam.
They can't
afford that.
They can't. I don't even think Microsoft could.
I don't know that from left field where that story came from, but
that
it's a rumor going around. So
some nerd's fantasy. But I think Sony's going to try and make more deals with some of these different publishers. Like Square, they have a good relationship, I would assume, with like Final Fantasy 16 and all the other games they've had these dealings with. So I think they're going to continue. If they can't buy Square, they will continue to make deals with them. I wouldn't be surprised if they've gone to Sega and be like, for Atlas stuff as well as Yakuza, give us some other Yakuza game that only on PlayStation and PC.
There was an interview recently with the CEO of Sega, and he was asked directly, about Microsoft, acquiring Sega, and is there any truth to Sega being acquired? And it's interesting. He said, not yet. Mm-hmm. He did not say yes or no. He said not yet.
Well, I think he's also doing that because remember with the court leaks, Microsoft wanted to buy them. Yeah. And they have a good relationship. Mm-hmm. So I think it's also to say it like that to give Sony, hey, Microsoft's going to come out a deal with a $2.5 billion. You want us? You give us $2.7 billion, and we'll sign you right now with you.
So I don't think Sega would ever sell to Sony. There's bad blood there.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, it goes back a long way. So yeah. Carl, your thoughts? What are the ramifications of the deal and for the industry afterwards?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think anything as far as acquisitions goes is going to change that much because if you go back in time, like this isn't anything new. Yes, this is bigger. This is obviously the biggest deal ever. But that's because, again, let's look at the name. It's Activision Blizzard and King, right?
Yes.
That itself is an acquisition right there. It's those three companies King wasn't that big, but they were big on the one mobile game that they had. Blizzard was huge and Activision bought Blizzard. I mean, that was a big deal when they bought them. They had tons of great games.
Right.
So this is just where it's going. Sony has bought tons of studios. I mean, they are what they are now, PlayStation, because of all the studios they acquired. Mm-hmm. Nintendo is kind of the only one who isn't really in that game. I know there's a few over the years, but they really haven't been doing anything different. And I kind of think they aren't. They're not going to look at this as any change because they're actually getting something out of it. They're going to get Call of Duty now when they didn't have it before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I kind of see a lot of positives in it, and I know that makes I'm an Xbox guy, so you would say, of course, that makes sense, right? But I mean, they are trying to put this on more places and more platforms, right? Yeah. They want it on cloud everywhere. They want it keep it on, at least Call of Duty on PlayStation. Everything they make is day one PC, right?
Yeah.
Look at one thing I was surprised to find out is that Crash game that just came out, the Crash Team Rumble.
Yep.
It's not on PC.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. I guess that's a console sort of game, but that's something that Microsoft wouldn't do, right? They would have put that on PC. It would have been on Steam.
Could you see, Carl, as a reactionary measure, could you see PlayStation and Sony when, say, Destiny 3 is launched, whenever that is, that will become exclusive to PlayStation.
Well, they could, I think, but I don't think that they can just do it that way, because as far as we know, that the deal with Bungie was that Bungie had that control, and they wanted to stay multi-platform.
Yeah,
which is why Marathon is multi-platform.
Right.
And I think there's something else they're working on that supposedly will be multi-platform.
Yeah.
And, Microsoft isn't taking Call of Duty away, so like for them to take Destiny away is weirdly spiteful of I don't know what, right? Because if they lose Crash or 5 or Spyro 4, like is that a huge deal? Really? Like those games aren't selling a lot of copies.
No.
Okay, Crash 4 was not successful.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure about that.
I don't know. Let me just look at sales numbers. Like I bought Crash 4 a little after it came out, and I enjoyed it, but I don't think it sold that well. I think it was a success, but not much of it.
Yeah, at least it's marginal. I mean, I
It was
probably
nothing
ratcheted
compared to
Clank.
the Insane, not compare. Like I think the Insane trilogy and the Nitro Kite remake.
Those did probably better. The Spyro Reignited trilogy was, I think, more successful as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think ramification wise, you got to look at more of the positives of what Microsoft seems to intend to achieve with this deal, which, everybody, look, all the focus is on Call of Duty, but Microsoft has said so many times, they've name checked several IPs that they want to come back,
Yeah.
I mean, Phil Spencer wore the Hexen shirt, at the
Yeah.
showcase. So I think they will do that. I think they will bring back more things. I don't think they're going to let Activision just be the Call of Duty factory anymore.
Yeah.
And that's good for everyone. More games, right?
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of this deal was, based on mobile, trying to get more leeway into the mobile space. And I mean, getting King and Candy Crush obviously will help in that regard. But they were looking down other avenues first before they had to settle on, getting Activision Blizzard King. So we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, Sega, like we've talked about, was on their board and on their radar, and Sega just bought Rovio.
Yeah,
and that would be an acquisition that makes sense for Microsoft to have, because that gives them mobile, it gives them other stuff as well. Sega has some developers that make PC stuff as well. But that's part of why Blizzard makes a lot of PC based stuff.
Yeah,
Microsoft is in the PC business as well, in case you didn't know that. So this is about a lot. The mobile, I mean, everyone's making sort of plays for that just because there's a lot of money in it. I don't really know if it means anything else significant to us. Like, everybody was like, yes, I get a Halo mobile game. Like, who cares? Like,
to be fair, I'd probably have more fun right now. You got more excitement for me for a Halo mobile game than I do Infinite.
Like, that campaign was good. It was good.
I'm sure the campaign was good, but I was waiting for co-op campaign to do it with friends.
Yeah.
They promised it, and then they took it away.
Yeah. But it's not as good as Wolfenstein: The New Order.
But let's get back to like ramifications for the industry. I mean, now that we've gone through over a year of this regulatory, how can I say, like a regulatory whirlwind of legal battles. Do you see that happening with almost every other big acquisition that could come up possibly in the near future? Like, say, if PlayStation were to try to get Square Enix, or if, say, Microsoft wanted to get Sega, or if they wanted to get CD Projekt Red, or Take-Two or something like that.
Yeah, I suppose you could say that this was the battle for more acquisitions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By winning this case, and also by the case showing that there was little merit to the argument against it, leads to the future that you won't be able to stop any of these other deals.
Yeah.
but they also sort of set a good precedent of by having to fight so hard for it. It did force Microsoft to say, look, we're not going to make Call of Duty exclusive, and they didn't say they're going to make anything else exclusive yet. They could, right? We think they probably will, but I just don't think they're going to. I think a lot of Activision Blizzard stuff will still come to other platforms.
Yeah.
And it just might be like some new IPs that they do exclusive. So you can't argue, like if Sony wants to buy EA, like I don't think you can argue a case that says they shouldn't be able to do that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Valve is a different story because Valve is a marketplace, right? Buying Valve is like, I mean, if Microsoft tried to buy Valve, I think that would have been blocked.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. There was a part of the case that interested me about the acquisition side of things, and where Sony had the argument about Bethesda. It's like, well, what is to say that Microsoft isn't going to make Call of Duty exclusive because they're making Starfield exclusive, which actually Sony wanted to get exclusivity rights to Starfield. But there are other games, obviously, that we all know of, and that Bethesda makes that became exclusive. Like Redfall, for example, was made exclusive for the Xbox platform, and most likely Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be exclusive to Xbox. Yeah. So I thought that part of the argument was interesting in the fact that, well, yeah, we're arguing about Call of Duty, but there are games that you have made exclusive. So what is to say that Call of Duty will not be exclusive also? And, Microsoft had to address that. And I thought that was an interesting part of the case. Yeah.
I mean, but they also made the argument, and it was a good argument, that they have far less exclusives than PlayStation.
Yeah. So, that's
to tell them, oh, you can't make the games exclusive for the thing you just bought. Doesn't make any sense because they're not ahead in any way. They're just a bigger company in general, but Xbox as a division isn't bigger than PlayStation.
No.
Right.
The Xbox is a very small division of Microsoft in the whole. Yeah. So
you can be mad about Microsoft making these Bethesda games exclusive, but they're still far behind in the amount of exclusives coming to the platform. Versus PlayStation. So, sorry if you're mad because you want those games, I guess. But what are you going to do? PlayStation is the one playing that game, and Microsoft is just trying to survive in the console industry. Right. Let's not beat around that bush. It's like, this is about not just this deal, but all these acquisitions are about the survival of Xbox as a platform.
Right.
You're not going to stay around if you can't sell games, and I don't just mean first party. I mean third party, because if no one's buying your console, no one's buying third party games on your console. And that's
the bottom line is the profit, and with Call of Duty, for example, we've been saying this since the beginning. To take Call of Duty off of PlayStation would be idiotic, because you can make so much money having it on that platform, because obviously Call of Duty sells the most on PlayStation's platform. So it's all about business, and it's all about making money. And if an exclusive is going to make you more money, that's great. If it's not, then keep it on other consoles and make profit off of it. So it's all about the business.
Yeah, I mean, because in exactly why they said with Bethesda it was going to be case by case, because they don't know what makes the most sense for every game yet. And even in the hearing, they asked about Elder Scrolls 6, and Phil Spencer said, it's like, I don't know, we haven't decided yet if it's exclusive, basically. And that's because you don't know where you're going to be when that game comes out. He said, it's 5 years out. Okay, 5 years down the line, Microsoft could be like, well, I guess Xbox is done. we're just going to be third party. That could happen. Things could go really poorly with sales of the console, or something else could happen. Sony could do some other thing that they don't like, or who knows? You just don't know.
Cloud gaming could take off, and you don't need a box anymore.
I mean, PS5 could get astronomically larger, and then at that point, you're like, I can't not put the game on there, right?
Right.
It depends on what happens in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's funny as we're talking about this, we're talking about Microsoft and PlayStation and all. Nintendo is kind of like just taking a back seat. They're just like, they're kind of just like in the corner of the room, just kind of like, listening and smiling. And they're just like, we're just fine.
Yeah. Nintendo has a very dedicated audience that likes a very specific style of game, or not genre, but like sort of themes that Nintendo provides.
Yeah.
And that audience, I could see a situation where Microsoft's like, hey, we're making the new Banjo, and we're making a new Spyro, and we're making a new Crash, right? And we're putting those on Xbox, PC, and Switch, but we're not putting them on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Could happen,
Yeah, could happen. Yeah, could happen. But Nintendo's getting Call of Duty now as well. So, go ahead, Burley.
I don't know if I'd want to play Call of Duty on the Switch. I think I'd rather play on my phone.
But believe me, there are millions and millions of gamers around the world that will play it on the Switch because that's all they play on. So,
and I love the Switch. The thing is, like, Nintendo just sits back and watch, because Nintendo, they have their audience. They will do stupid things, but they will still keep their audience, because overall Nintendo has for most part, overall, for 95% of their games, or even if not higher, when it comes out, the thing comes out really polished in great quality. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. And like Nintendo, we all have the thing that like Nintendo game prices never drop and all that. But because Nintendo does, I will give them credit. They do take care, and they really do take credit for when the game launches, it comes out in a good state.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Whereas we've had stuff from both. Sony's got some had some bad ones. Microsoft has had some where these games launch, and it's like,
it's
how did this get passed?
It's everyone, I guess, except maybe first party Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Because even like I want to call them, I don't know, would they be second party maybe ish for Pokemon? Like that game didn't launch well. The last one.
That's game. That was Game Freak. That's not Nintendo. I think Nintendo really wants to go to Game Freak and Creature Co. and just get the leashes on them and be like fully sit there. But at the same time, I think Nintendo is also happy with the way they're not fully on it. They just collect the check. Yeah, they sit back and just get the check, because no matter how Pokemon comes out, it's still always going to sell toys, sell the trading cards, sell the games.
Yeah. So there's this.
Just give me some Prototype 3, and this. I'm happy. This deal would be worth it. No.
Yeah.
I see there's a lot of potential in that franchise. No, that's not. Wouldn't be enough, but that would be cool.
Before we move on, I just want to throw this one out at you guys. There's rumors that Sony could possibly, once the deal is finalized and complete, there's been talk that Sony's going to bring out their Slim model this year. Maybe towards the end of the year, the PS5 Slim, I should say. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's going to become a reality? What do you think, Carl?
I think it's a certainty. I don't think it has anything to do with this deal. I don't think there's any reason why they would care when that deal closes or not to release this new hardware. I think that's just a plan that they have, and I think that's about making it cheaper to produce so they can make more money. They're streamlining the production, right? Yeah. Because the idea, the rumor is there will only be one model of PS5. And that would be whatever this, I'm going to say slim in quotes, because I don't know that it's really going to be slim so much as it's just maybe a redesign that's digital only, that allows the attachment of an external disk drive.
Yeah.
And then when you get the Pro model, which rumors seem to be pointing to reality on that as well, that will be digital only as well at launch and compatible with that same external disk drive.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason I mention it is because in our last episode, our special guest, Lady Virgilia, we were talking about Final Fantasy, and she was mentioning I'll probably wait for there's like a slim model or a pro model coming out maybe sometime in the near future. Maybe I'll wait and get a PS5 at that point in time. So
she was more waiting for the Pro.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, the slim.
But we mentioned the slim model because the slim model will come out first, and most likely, probably a year or two after, we'll get like the Pro model, and then of course Xbox will probably come out with or could be, and then the Xbox will probably have a Series X Pro or whatever they'll call it at some point. But go ahead, Burley. You were going to say
Xbox Series Z. It's their next model.
Z. I like the Z.
Yeah, I think we'll get the Slim. They'll announce it soon enough. It's just whether I think Sony, because they're just really weird with announcing stuff. Like we still have that Project Q. They did a bare showing of that.
Right.
We still don't have the price. We still don't have the release date. We still don't have the earbuds and all that. But it's like, yeah.
Well, what is coming out I think very soon is that controller for people with special needs.
That's December 4th, I think, is the release date.
Right. That's been clarified. So
yeah, they focus on that, and that's great for people that want that controller and need that kind of control. Like that is a great thing and good on Sony, because I want more things like that for more people to be able to get into gaming and to play them.
Right.
Like Sony, I think they'll release the Slim whenever they feel like it at this point, because they've done some weird moves. We're all like waiting on Bates' breath of, okay, you showed us the Q. When do we get that day? We know the Slim's coming. Will they do a Pro? I'm sure they probably will. Pro is going to be a next year. I've heard rumors that they'll try. They were thinking of getting the Slim out this year, but that'd be next year, early next year, and have the Pro for holiday.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
I'm thinking the Slim will hit for this year's holiday season. I look, don't hold out for a price drop. I think it'll be $400, just like the digital. Yeah. That's already out there. But I think you'll probably get the full terabyte on the hard drive instead of like that weird. How much was it? I don't even know.
800 megabytes or gigabytes. I'm sorry, 800 gig. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you get the full terabyte, unless they're feeling generous and they want to up that even more. That storage, the NVMe, hard drives have gone down, SSDs have gone down in price a lot. So maybe they could put a little more in there, but I don't think, Sony, I don't find them to be generous. I think they're trying to make as much profit as possible. So
there are some out there that are saying that the next or the Pro model will probably be like $700. And
I could see it being I'm thinking 6 because the standard digital only $400. $200 more for the Pro, also digital only. So it might be $700 if you add in whatever the external drive is going to cost.
Well, the PS5 optical is $500, right?
Yeah. With the disk drive is $500. So I think I'm curious to see how that all plays out. Like no one has done this yet. This console with an external disk drive like that. I wonder about pricing. I wonder about security. Will you be able to hack that more easily?
Yeah.
I think that's a big reason why that hasn't happened before. So we'll see. Maybe they figure it out.
We'll see. Yeah. That's a topic for another day. So anyway, it's time to move on to the, of course, new game release picks of the week for the week of July 24th through the 30th. So, Carl, you are up first. So, what is your pick of the week?
I went with a very stereotypical choice for myself called Crimson Tactics: The Rise of the White Banner, coming to PC in early access on Tuesday, July 25th. Crimson Tactics: The Rise of the White Banner brings you an epic adventure in the form of a turn-based tactical RPG. Set in a medieval high fantasy world, witness a massive political disruption through the lives of different characters and fight for the fate of, I'm going to say, Wendell. And yet, very heavily inspired by Final Fantasy Tactics, which, I'm happy to see. I want more games like that. That Final Fantasy Tactics was an incredible game that never got a real sequel. Only got that Game Boy thing. Game Boy Advance.
That Game Boy Advance game was good.
I didn't like it. But and then Tactics Ogre is also inspiration for this stuff as well. You had the Tactics Ogre Reborn recently, but did they ever make any sort of sequel? I'm trying to remember. There was some other game. There was something, but anyway, these are great games and political theme. Triangle strategy is this type of game, which is great.
Yeah.
So I hope this is a good one. We'll see.
Cool. All right, Burley, you're up next. What do you got for us?
My pick of the week is Disney Illusion Island. Join Mickey and friends on a quest to explore the mysterious island of Monith and recover 3 mystical books to save the world from disaster. Choose your favorite character and unlock special abilities as you perform high-flying platforming feats, solve fun puzzles, and take on epic boss battles. Run, swim, swing, and jump your way through beautiful, mysterious island. Discover rich biomes, intriguing characters, and hidden secrets. Play solo or grab up to 3 friends and save the island. And 4-player couch co-op. Team up with friends and utilize unique skills such as rope drop, leapfrog, and heart-giving hugs. It's coming July 28th to the Switch. Only the Switch. So we'll see. I'm a sucker for platformers. I suck at them, but I love them.
So Carl, you were mentioning on the Discord, you're like you knew that Burley was going to pick this for the game. I think, why did you think he was going to pick this one?
I don't know. I know he likes the platformers, and I know he likes this.
Yeah, that's the thing about Burley, man. It's like, Disney-ish, cartoonish type of games. Yeah, it's like the cute games. Yeah, so that's cool.
And Switch, he's a Switch softie.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not gonna lie though, I wish if this was coming to Steam, I'd be going for on the deck over the Switch any day. Like it's nice that you got couch co-op, but it's like, come on, I want online co-op.
Yeah.
Give me deck co-op now.
Yeah.
I want to be over your shoulder while you're playing the deck with my Bluetooth controller.
Yeah. All right. The reason, so my pick of the week, the reason why I picked this one is because obviously I was a big fan of the Wolf Among Us. I'm really, really excited for the second game whenever it's coming. It was like delayed, but I also was into the Walking Dead series, particularly the first couple of games. I loved Clementine. So Telltale Games, those styles of games I really enjoyed. And this one is more along the lines of space. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that here. So there we go. Oh, sorry.
No.
Not Jedi Survivor. Sorry. The Expanse. So this was in our intro. So in the near future, on the outskirts of the asteroid belt, a bloody mutiny breaks loose on the Artemis. You take the role of Exo Kamina Drummer, where your choices determine the fate of the ship. What will you do with the truth? So this anticipated game, The Expanse, a Telltale series, episode 1. It's upcoming on PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. Comes out on July 27th. So from Deck 9 Games. So I'm really excited for this because, like I said, I really was into the Telltale games, but now the engine obviously has been updated, so it should be much better than the old jaggy system that was in like the Walking Dead games. And I'm really excited because, of course, the decisions that you have to make and how the story is going to play out because of your decisions. I love these type of games, and it's in space, so I'm really excited for it. It's part 1, of course, the first episode. Of course, they're episodic this time. So the first one's going to be dropping soon. So that is my pick of the week. Are you guys interested in playing The Expanse? Burley or Carl? Yeah.
It looks good. I'm curious to see what the new Telltale is and what they can achieve. I didn't watch the series. I started watching like a couple episodes. It's interesting. I just, it's dense.
Yeah. Burley, are you interested in playing The Expanse? Yeah.
I am. Like Carl said, I want to see how, since Telltale has reformed, see how this goes. But I have not watched The Expanse, so I guess I gotta do some watching before I load up this game.
So anyway, those are our picks of the week. So you can go to releases.com to see all the games for July 24th through the 30th, as well as into the future, into August. So we're looking forward to trying these games out. So so check out releases.com for our picks of the week and for all the other games that are releasing soon. All right. So next up, we're going to be talking about Game Pass games. So Carl, what are the Game Pass games that are coming and leaving for the end of July and into early August?
Nothing leaves Game Pass. No.
You wish. Yeah, that would be yes. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Unfortunately,
we have available now already Tectonica, which is in game preview on Cloud Console PC. Apparently, that's a day 1 game. Toem, also Cloud Console PC. The Cave, Cloud and Console. Coming on, this is already, okay, we're already past these dates. So we have Maquette already out now. We have Figment 2, Creed Valley. And we have The Wandering Village. Then coming on the 25th of July, we have Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem, which is Cloud, PC, and Xbox Series XS only. And then on the 31st, you have Venba, which is a day 1 Game Pass release. And then Celeste on August 1st, which is a highly rated game. Indie people love. And let's see, what is leaving? Where are things leaving? Sadly, we are losing a game called Dreamscaper. I don't know. Expeditions Rome, which for me, that was one that I loved on PC only. Marvel's Avengers is leaving. The Ascent.
No,
that's too bad. Yeah, I love that game. I love The Ascent. Yeah.
No, I meant about Avengers.
Avengers.
Yeah.
I played it. It's all right. And 2 Point Campus is leaving as well.
Nice.
Some decent stuff leaving. So, that's on the 31st. So if you like those games, grab them at the discount before they're gone. I might grab Expeditions Rome. I'm debating it because I found out that the developer sold themselves out to join some weird NFT crypto blockchain gaming company. Yeah, so I'm not even sure I want to buy your old game anymore. But they said that THQ Nordic owns the IP rights.
Yeah.
So I guess someone would continue it, but who would develop it at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. So thank you, Carl. So obviously, of course, the Arena Productions, we don't only do video game coverage, but we also do entertainment and pop culture related videos. And so this last week, so for all of you that watch our shows on the Arena Productions, we also did our review and recap of Marvel Secret Invasion, episode 5, called Harvest. So you could go and check out our review and our recap of the episode that Burley and I did. So yeah, it was a pretty good episode. So yeah, you can check that out. And on the Star Trek end of things, we had episode 6 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Lost in Translation. So our recap and discussion of that, you can check it out right here on the Arena Productions. So, and also, I put up yesterday, episode 7 of Strange New Worlds is coming out this coming week, and we're really, really excited. I think this is the biggest episode that we've been looking forward to for season 2, titled Those Old Scientists. So the crossover episode between Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Star Trek Lower Decks, the animated series. So Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome are going to be playing their roles of Mariner and Boimler. So you can see here Boimler on the Enterprise here. So we're really excited for that. So some sneak peek pics that I put up in a video. So you can go and check that out as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff here on the Arena Productions. And of course, we also have a Patreon. So all of our episodes of course, our Star Trek series, our Marvel series, and of course, this podcast and our post show, which is exclusive to our Patreon. You can go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/The Arena Productions. So a lot of cool stuff over there that we do. And you can get exclusive and ad-free content. So yeah, exciting stuff. So please go and check out our Patreon as well. So a lot of cool stuff over there. So yeah, really excited for all of the cool stuff. And next month, of course, Star Wars Ahsoka is going to be starting. And so here on the Arena Productions, we will be doing recap and review episodes of that series as well. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming out. Yeah. So now it's time to talk about the games that we're going to be playing this upcoming week. I'm going to continue with Jedi Survivor. And I was playing, in the last episode we did, I was playing Kimetsu no Yaiba, which is Demon Slayer. I'm going to play a little bit more of that. And tried to get back to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. So anyway, Burley, what are you going to be playing this next week?
The obvious one of Pikmin 4. Since I got the copy and the coasters here.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been playing on my off time, and I'll be streaming it soon. Diablo 4. Nice. I am enjoying it, but I'm not going to lie. Blizzard, you suck for doing the nerfs the way you did. They did Diablo 4 nerfs at the... Yeah, because I was playing earlier today, this morning, and I used to do a lot more damage. And my class, the class I picked, Sorcerer, used to be quite a powerful class. They really nerfed Sorcerer the worst. Mm-hmm. So it's like, great.
I see. Yeah. Carl, how about you, man?
Yeah, I'm just going to continue Wolfenstein, the new Colossus for now.
Just killing Nazis.
Yeah, man, lots of them. Lots and lots of them.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else queued up that I'm definitely going to jump into. So we'll see. Could be anything at that point after that.
All right.
Get a PS5 and play Final Fantasy 16 and
all right, it's not going to be that. Let's take that out of the equation.
What about Astro? You know you're going to love it.
No, I'm not going to play. I wouldn't. What, you're going to buy a PS5 to play Astro's Playroom?
It comes with it. You know.
All right.
I'm going to I'll buy a PS5 for will be
Spider-Man 2.
What's it going to be?
Yep.
No,
Spider-Man 2.
It's going to be
Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West.
It's going to be Infamous remake. That's what it's going to be.
You might have a while to wait on that one then. Yeah.
All right, Last of Us Part 3. How about that?
A while to wait on that as well.
Damn it.
All right. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for your support and for watching us and also listening in audio format on the Arena Productions here. So thank you so much. And I want to thank, of course, Cammie Reaper for coming into the chat with us tonight. So thank you so much. Yep. So thank you so much. So it's time to end the show with our indie recording artist spotlight. So this week's spotlight is on Midnight Noise. Midnight Noise are a musical duo bringing together roots in garage and electronic music. Now their sound is a garage and synth pop fusion from their album titled Come On Over, and the song is called Get Ready. So this has been The Arena, a Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast, episode 139. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. And thank you so much for all of you viewers here on YouTube. And of course, our ad-free version will be going up to our Patreon for our patrons. So thank you so much, all of you patrons, for all of your support as well. So anyway, we hope to catch you in the next one. So, of course, we record live on Saturdays at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So anyway, thank you so much and enjoy your week of gaming. And we hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone, and enjoy the outro. Peace out.